What's going on, fam? This is Jay Cameron inviting you to join us in Ethiopia next March 2025. And this is going to be an iconic trip that you don't want to miss, a trip of a lifetime. We're going to be visiting Addis Ababa, Gondor, Lalibela. You'll have a chance to taste the amazing Ethiopian food. You'll also have a chance to visit the Rastafarian community. You'll get the history, you'll get the fashion, you have an opportunity to shop. It's going to be a trip, an experience of a lifetime. So make sure you sign up to join us in Ethiopia, March 2025.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream today. It is August the 1st, and we are trucking along in the year. You know, school about to get started back up for these kids. So shout out to all the kids. It'll be back to getting up in the morning and getting them ready for school and all of that. But hey, it is what it is, right? It seems like these months are passing by so doggone fast. Oh my Lord. It's fast. You're going to look up. I'm telling y'all, if you are Vice President Kamala Harris, you are really in crunch mode right now because it is August. I'm telling you, we doing these live streams, and I'm just seeing these days just tick day after day after day after day after day. So, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. We're going to be speaking about Vice President Kamala Harris today because that's what y'all want to hear about. Vice President Kamala Harris. Why not? She's a great person to talk about. She's full of joy, and she laughs a lot, and so it makes her just a great person to speak about since she wants your vote. There are people in the chat that really don't like that when we speak about Vice President Kamala Harris. They want to hear about Donald Trump. If you want to hear about Donald Trump, then you know where to go to look at that. You don't. You know what I'm saying? Our thing here is the Democrats want the black vote, so we're going to stay on the Democrats the whole time. Trump wants the black vote as well, but we have been voting 60 plus years for Republicans. We've been voting for Democrats. So we expect more out the Democrats than we do Republicans at this dispensation of time. So with that being said, please be nice, in the chat room. If you're not nice, if you're not cordial, then we'll just make sure that we can, get you out of there, and then you can go do that somewhere else where that's acceptable. We want grown people here. Outside of that, the Ethiopia trip in March 2025, I think March 31 through April 9, 2025. I got an email today from someone said he wanted to take the whole family. If this person do that, that's going to be almost the spot's going to be almost gone. That person book. So before they book, you have 10 spots left. Now we're coming up on today, Thursday, and then you have Friday. That's the 2 days that a lot of people get paid. So if you want to, don't think about it too long. We already in August. That trip going to come up quick. Remember the people that went to South Africa? You see how quick that trip came up in April of this year? You know what I'm saying? So make sure you get on ASAP and put your deposit down where you can make your payments, for the trip in March. Also, let's go ahead on and get started with the devotion. I don't know what we're going to do today. We did Eric Mays. I think we did Al Sharpton. We did Uncle Ruckus. I don't know. I need some inspiration from the super mayor today. Hold on. I got to bring her up. I need some super mayor inspiration. That way I can cook Kamala a little bit today for some of the things she's doing. So let's get some inspiration from the super mayor.
Hey guys, it's Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henry, the people's mayor.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor. not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work.
What is that?
No comment. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. So this is what it's all about, guys. They don't want a black person in power. They don't want a woman in power. You ain't seen that yet. And someone so young. Everybody gotta understand, God give you what you can handle. That's what God give you. He ain't gonna give you more than that. As long as you can stay the course, fight the fight, and keep going, that's what we're gonna do here at Thornton Township.
Clerk, what are you doing? You out of order. You out of order. Did I call the roll? Did I say call the roll? I'm still speaking. You're out of order, Clerk Key. You out of order, Clerk Key. Like, stop. Y'all out of order. Everybody want to run stuff. Y'all don't run this house over here. Stop, please.
So now you have to listen in order to learn. Remove her. Remove her.
Go tell that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. All right, so let's go on and get to your favorite Vice President of the United States of America. She, once again, went to the Boule. This woman is really going to the Boule events. This time, she came to Houston, Texas, and she went to the Sigma Gamma Rho, their Boule convention here in Houston, Texas. She went to the other Boule convention, about a week or two ago. I don't think she got the memo that the Boule really don't have any influence on Black America. It lets her know how out of touch she is with Black America, but she's not a Black American from the soil. She does not. She's not a descendant of slaves in this country. So that's why she does not, just have the connection like that. And she's thinking that the Boule is the way in. Now, you have to understand about the Boule. The reason why the Boule support Democrats is because they get something out of it. I mean, they get positions. When they talk about this student debt relief, that benefits them a lot, because they got college debt. It's just little things that they get out of the Democrat Party. So it really benefits them because they do get the Boule get tangibles from the Democrat Party. Now, me and you don't get tangibles, but they do. That's why they're so hardcore Democrat like that. This is why, when the last election, when a lot of you were hoodwinked to go out and vote Joe Biden, and when you seen that video of Boule Martin crying in the car, I mean, that's funny. That part of itself was funny. Boule Martin was crying, grown man recorded himself crying in the car because Black people lined up to vote Democrat. And what happened? He got something out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So if he can deliver the vote, or any Boule members can deliver the vote for the Democrats, they get papered up. But let's go ahead and get to your vice president and what she had to say. And let's just have some conversation a little bit about your vice president here. So let's go ahead and cue her up. We got a couple of videos today of your vice president, but let's go ahead and play the first one where she's going to be doing a little fear-mongering about Project 2025 once again. And you still have some Black folks that's doing the fear-mongering about that. Like we didn't come from slavery, like we didn't go through Jim Crow, like we didn't go through hell in this country, right? But we're worried about the Heritage Foundation, of all people, the Heritage Foundation. Like, anyway, let me go ahead and cue this up.
But as we work to move our nation forward, let us be clear, there are those who are trying to take us backward. You may have seen their agenda. They call it Project 2025. Right. And it is a 900-page agenda of extremism. Project 2025 would raise taxes on middle-class families and cut taxes for billionaires, eliminate the Department of Education, and end programs like Head Start, which of course would take away preschool from hundreds of thousands of our children. All of this to build on what Donald Trump did in his first term. When he was president, he gave tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He tried to cut Social Security and Medicare every single year. And he and his allies have tried more than 60 times to end the Affordable Care Act. and to take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. Remember what that was? Denying children with asthma, breast cancer survivors, grandparents with diabetes. And you know, America has tried these failed policies before, and we are not going back. We are not going back. We all here remember what those 4 years were like. And today, we were given yet another reminder. This afternoon, Donald Trump spoke at the annual meeting of the National Association of Black Journalists. And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better. The American people deserve better. The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth, a leader who does not respond with hostility and anger when confronted with the facts. We deserve a leader who understands that our differences do not divide us. They are an essential source of our strength. So I say to Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom. Across our nation, we are witnessing a full-on attack on hard-fought, hard-won fundamental freedoms and rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to live without fear of bigotry and hate, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride, the freedom to learn and acknowledge America's true and full history, and the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. Love who you love openly and with pride, the freedom to learn and acknowledge America's true and full history, and the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. History, and the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. History, and the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do.
Yeah, you heard that, right? So a few things that I want to get to with this. I want to kind of rewind it a little bit. And when she mentioned Donald Trump, and something she should have mentioned if I was her, but let's see if I can cue that back up.
Annual meeting of the National Association of Black Journalists. And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better. The American people deserve better. The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth, a leader who does not respond with hostility and anger when confronted with the facts. We deserve a leader who understands that our differences do not divide us.
Okay, I played that for a reason, because I'm going to go back to this. We got a couple of more videos to go through. But she know what Donald Trump said about her. I want y'all to pay attention to this. She know what Donald Trump said about her. She knows he said 1 minute she said she's an Indian when I knew her before, Indian American. Now she became black. That was her opportunity to say, you know what? I heard what Donald Trump said about my, identity. I'm going to make it clear. I am a black woman. I've been a black woman. She should have went all blackety black, black, black. And she did not do that. She didn't do it. That was her opportunity to be blackety black, black, black. She with the Boule. they would have really been screaming about that. But she didn't go blackity black, 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 right? She's black for when it's convenient. You have to understand where she comes from, being a East Indian, it's not a good thing to be black. There's a lot of anti-blackness in the East Indian community. I've interviewed, the interview you go watch with Shweta Agarwal. She wrote a whole book about it. East Indian woman that I interviewed on this channel. And what she went through, the hell she went through because she's real dark skinned as a South Indian. She told her whole story about it. She talked about the anti-blackness in the East Indian community. She talked about it. You can go look at the interview up on this channel. I think it's almost about an hour long. So if in her community, they have a lot of anti-blackness, does it make sense why she don't want to say that she's black or lean into the blackness or play the sister girl role? Think about it. The people that's saying that she's black is not even her. It's all these surrogates. Oh, she went to HBCU. So did Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal went to HBCU. At least Rachel Dolezal didn't lock a bunch of black people up. If you go look at Rachel Dolezal's history, she was actually trying to help black folk. She was actually one of the leaders of the NAACP. Who outed her? It wasn't even black folk that outed her. Because it was the folks that outed her. Because they were mad that she was cosplaying a black woman. If you go research Rachel Dolezal's history, she was on the board of Police Accountability Commission. There was things that was happening to black folk. Where's Kamala's work to defend black folk? When she was a doggone district attorney in San Francisco, when she was the attorney general in California, where's her record of defending black people? Oh, her record is putting them in jail. Her record is laughing and when you put them, talking about truancy. And Sister Vicky covered that earlier, on the live stream. Shout out to Sister Vicky. That's her record. Her record is keeping innocent black people in prison longer than what they should so they can clean the jail. Basically, the 13th Amendment all over against slavery. Because, yes, no slavery except crime and punishment. So she wanted them to do slave labor, convict labor. So, yeah, if I had a choice between Kamala and Rachel Dolezal, give me Rachel. I sure take Rachel all day long. Because both of them cosplaying. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris says about the future. And one candidate wants to go back to the past. One wants to go to the future. Oh, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you this much. The more black people I talk to, they're not going along with that future that she wants. We want a future with the traditional family, the family that God instituted. That's the family that we want, right? Now, she didn't lean into blackness. Okay, cool. No issue, no problem. Let's talk about immigration here for a minute. Because, see, her parents came that way. So when you talk about immigration, she don't care about your concerns because she want more and more people to cross that border. I want you to listen to what she said to the ICE director back in 2020. I want you to listen to what she compared immigration customs enforcement to. Every country has an immigration customs enforcement. They may call it another thing, but they have something to enforce their borders. There's no country on earth that's going to let you just have free reign or going across their borders. Free reign. Okay, so let's listen to what she says about that. And you wonder why in Chicago you got that problem? You wonder why in New York you got that problem? Listen to the mindset of Vice President Kamala Harris back in 2020. Listen to this.
Are you aware of the perception of many about how the power and the discretion at ICE is being used to enforce the laws? And do you see any parallels?
I do not see any parallels between
I'm talking about perception.
Officers and agents.
I'm talking about perception.
I do not see a parallel between what is constitutionally mandated as it relates to enforcing the law.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
That puts ICE in the same category as the KKK. Is that what you're asking me?
No, I'm very specific about what I'm asking. Are you aware that there's a perception that ICE is administering its power in a way that is causing fear and intimidation, particularly among immigrants?
Okay, so, well, ICE would not be causing fear and intimidation if you come through the right channels. ICE is only here is when you violate the law, immigration law. And hey, you know what? What happened to law and order? Because everybody was talking about law and order in California, in San Francisco. So where's the law and order? She's a prosecutor. Why is she sitting up here advocating against immigration custom enforcement? You know what I'm saying? And y'all talking about all the migrants that came through the Biden. You have to understand, it's called the Biden-Harris administration, not the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration. You was talking about Joe Biden. Oh, we got to get Joe Biden out of here. Did Joe Biden. You put her in, you might well should have voted for Biden, because that's the same thing. That's the same policies, a little worse policies in my opinion than even Joe Biden. But it's going to be a continuation of the same policies of Joe Biden. You had they said millions of people came across the border. It's going to be millions more with her. She's not going to enforce any laws. She's not going to do that. She's going to make sure everybody comes across and make sure they're papered up, because that's what she believes in. So how are you when we ask that question as a Black American, how does that portion benefit you? It benefits corporations. And when let's call it what it is. If corporations are benefiting from the immigration, they're going to fire you. Now let's talk about the business side that Kamala Harris won't talk about. Corporations, the biggest thing that costs in corporations is payroll. Payroll, state tax, federal tax. You got unemployment insurance to pay. You have so many different things you have to pay, right? Well, if you bring in an immigrant who came across the border, you could pay them less pay, fire you, lay you off, less pay, don't have to worry about all these taxes, couldn't even hire them underneath independent contractor, so they don't have to worry about paying any kind of taxes for them. Don't have to worry about unemployment if they insurance, medical insurance. Don't have to worry about any of that. Less pay, they save so much money by hiring them. The more that comes over, the more you're going to be laid off. See, those of you who support that, you think it's a game? Okay. They'll come over. And then when you talking about, man, I got laid off today. But you seeing all kind of other people that replaced you for less money? Because these corporations that Kamala is working for too, all that money she got, do you think that was not grassroots? That came from the donors, and these donors want something. Yeah, they want an open border so they can have cheap labor. And all you Black Americans that sitting in that chat, they're talking about, I'm supporting her. And then when you're behind, get the pink slip. Well, I'm a nurse. I'm a this. I'm a that. I'm not worried. Oh, really? They got nurses in other countries too. And they get paid a whole lot less than you. They could bring them same nurses from the Philippines and anywhere else they want to bring them from, train them up the way they want to, pay them half of your salary, and they'll be happy because that's way more money they was making in their homeland. Way more. Doctors in other countries don't get paid what doctors get paid here. You not safe? Well, I work construction. I'm cool. Really? Well, people in construction know better than that. They bring people over here, pay them half the salary. And now you don't have a job no more. They ain't got to worry about paying no 401k, no benefits, no nothing with you. But a lot of you, especially in the Black community, you don't get it until it happens to you. You hard-headed. You are so hard-headed, you're stubborn. Then after it happens to you, man, yeah, I know I was speaking against y'all at the time, and I say y'all was wrong, but I finally see what y'all was talking about now. Man, they fired me today. And then I found out they didn't hire about 4 or 5 people that's immigrants in my place. And I don't know what I'm going to do about my bills. You know how black folks are. They hard-headed. They don't listen. They can see they struggling right now, but they'll let the Democrats play games with their mind, and they'll go support her anyway and get deeper into debt, deeper into inflation, deeper into higher gas prices, food prices, all of that. Then they try to defend them. Well, the president ain't going to control prices. The president has a big thumb on everything. That Federal Reserve alone with the high interest rates is hurting the economy bad. When you jack up interest rates, then the creditors that all these businesses have to pay for goes up. Well, if that all goes up because of interest rates, and guess what happened? They're going to raise prices to recoup so they can make some profit. Notice when the interest rate was like 1-2%, you saw how low the prices were? You saw how you kept money in your bank account? They say, oh, remember the time of the Trump administration? I do remember it. I remember it. And I kept way more money in my bank account during the Trump administration. This administration has been horrible financially. And you're right. Damon is right. Illegal immigration hurts black Americans. Not Project 2025. Say, I got family that illegal immigration has hurt them. I guess he said it's hurt them. Look at Chicago. In Chicago, they was getting 6 months free rent. 6 months free rent. Brandon Johnson in Chicago. I interviewed Sister Carter Trust. She came here. I interviewed her on the podcast, and I interviewed her here. She said it. She said what they dealing with in Chicago. Black people are suffering on the streets in Chicago, but they can get 6 months free rent. They can get secret job fairs, but black Americans can't get that. But that's a Democrat-run city, Democrat-run state. So y'all rather be on the streets of Chicago cold, and y'all get negative cold because of that weather and wind over there in Chicago. My Lord, that wind will tear your behind up in Chicago. Shout out to Chicago, my brothers and sisters in Chicago. So you rather be on the street and people who just crossed the border because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, that's cool. Vote blue no matter who. Okay, cool. Well, let's play another video of even this is what I don't understand. Even Democrat-leaning media was talking bad about Kamala, bad about her. Now all of a sudden they support her. So let's cue this up real quick. Let's cue this up.
There are reports that say that you have the lowest approval rating of any vice president.
Well, there are polls that also say I have great approval ratings.
Swing voters don't like Harris. How big a drag is Kamala Harris on the ticket?
She's a pretty big drag. I think she was arguably Biden's worst political decision.
They don't like her. There's lots of reasons they don't like her.
Kamala Harris's approval rating is now at 28%, which is an historic low for any modern vice president.
We're hearing it from mainstream media, one outlet after another, one leak after another. The Kamala Harris is the worst vice president ever, the worst politician ever.
We don't see the vice president. What people are saying to me, and I'm sure they're saying it to you, where's the vice president? Some White House officials are feeling that she came off looking unprepared for inevitable questions about when she might visit the southern border.
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
The point that Lester Holt was making was obvious to anyone else who was watching this interview, which is that the issues at the border are inextricably linked with the portfolio that she's been given.
The border is secure. We have a secure border.
Bidenomics is working. Prices have gone up. and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up.
He picked Kamala Harris to be his running mate. She was ranked and is ranked as the most liberal senator in the United States Senate. So he could have gone the other way, but he went to the left.
Joe Biden is running for re-election, and I will be his ticket mate. Full stop. Full stop. That's it.
Well, that came all from left-wing media, that really supports her. And she still has not gave them an interview, ladies and gentlemen. She still has not given them an interview. They are complaining that she won't sit down with them. She haven't sat down with CNN to do an interview. She haven't sat down with MSNBC. She haven't sat down with none of them to do an interview. Well, I don't think she wants to be asked a hard question. She could duck and hide up until after the convention, but then after the convention, when she gonna have to debate Donald Trump, then what she's gonna do? What is she gonna do? Now, something else I want y'all to home in on, because we're covering a lot tonight. How many of y'all have heard the term Black Americans are being divisive? Have you heard that term? That Black Americans that are delineating for a reason, they're being divisive. Well, and I want to give a shout out to Sister Demetra. Definitely want to give a shout out to Sister Demetra, because she shared something with me, what Tatiana Ali had posted about Vice President Kamala Harris. And I don't want to hear anything about Black Americans are being divisive at all when Black Americans are delineating. Let me go and show you what kind of event they had for Kamala Harris. Let me go ahead and pull this up so y'all can see this as well. Where we at? Go down, go down, go down. There we go. All right. Boom. As you can see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, Caribbean American leaders and celebrities mobilized for Kamala Harris. I thought we were all black. I thought we were all black. I thought that the boat dropped one group off in the Caribbean, and I thought the boat dropped us off over here. I thought we were all descendants of slaves. We need to stop all that divisiveness and all of that. We need to stop that. We're all black. We need to work together. Pan-Africanism. I thought all of that, right? And then if I scroll here, it says Caribbean Americans rally for Harris for president. There's a national call actually going on right now. No, I didn't RSVP to be into that. I'm not Caribbean American, at all. And, there's a lot of people that was like kind of cooking her in those comments. They say y'all doing a rally for someone that has arrested mostly black males. It said as a DA for crimes such as possession of marijuana. I mean, they are cooking. But my issue is that right there. I don't want to hear anyone else talk about that delineation is divisive. Because, see, what I'm getting about this, because, see, this will happen. Oh, so you separating yourself to do something with her by yourself that has nothing to do with other black Americans. What are you trying to get her to promise that we can't hear? You understand what I'm saying? See, the problem I have, and see, that's why people like that don't like that conversation or even the immigration conversation. You understand what I'm saying? They don't like that conversation because when black Americans say, hey, we're circling our wagons as a community and trying to take care of something politically, okay, everybody want to pull from our table. But when they set up a table and they want something, black Americans can't be a part of it. We can't be on the call. You're calling yourself Caribbean Americans. You're separating yourself away from the group. How can we get something done if all this divisiveness? This is divisive right here. And Kamala has no problem being divisive. She has no problem. So I don't want to hear no more that black Americans, when they delineate, I don't want to hear. And that dude in the front, he's on the Congressional Black Caucus. Well, both of them are. The lady right there next to him, they in the Congressional Black Caucus, not the Congressional Caribbean Caucus. They in the Congressional Black Caucus, but they separate themselves to another group to try to advocate for something. And then you wonder why Black Americans politically are saying we don't want nobody to be our leaders unless you come from the descendants of slaves in this country. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not, and this has nothing to do with Vice President Kamala Harris either. I'm talking about them. They separated themselves. So I don't want to hear that mess no more about anything about condemning Black Americans if they delineate. Because all these other groups come in this country, delineate, get in little corners, and then they try to get something out of these political candidates, these little set-asides. What are you saying in that group that Black Americans can't listen to? Why are we excluded from a conversation with Vice President Kamala Harris? So wait a minute. She is on a call with y'all, but she won't get on a call with Black Americans? Is she gonna be on the call? Let me make sure I didn't read wrong. They mobilizing. Okay, it's a rally. They didn't say she was gonna be on the call. Okay, but you rallying for her. But why is it you rallying separately? What is it about you that's so different? What is it about you that you have to divide from Black Americans? Why can't we hear the conversation? I thought we were all Black. What are you going to say in that meeting by yourself? So when they did the Black women for Harris, those Caribbean Americans were there. When they did the Black men for Harris, those Caribbean Americans were there too. But when they do a Caribbean Americans for Harris, we don't know nothing about it. RJ McKenzie, it's not us though. Black Americans have been the one that's last to the delineation party. Everybody come in here and they say, hey, I want to come in here and I want to take, hold on, what, y'all remember that video that sister made talking about when she come in, she come to take? I have that video, I can cue it up. But that's the mindset, I come to take. But we don't supposed to say nothing about it. So these be the same people that when you talk about, hey, reparations, we got to be lineage based. Oh, that ain't right. The slave ship dropped. We suffered slavery too. The slave ship dropped us off in the Caribbean. So we need to be a part of that too. That's not right. You Black Americans are sounding like MAGA. You sounding like Trump. You trying to divide Black people. But yet you saw they dividing Black people. That's divisive. Well, shoot, if check this out. If defending Black Americans is MAGA, I guess we MAGA then. If defending Black Americans at this point is sounding like Trump, I guess we sound like Trump. Once again, they divided. They delineated. They say, let's have a separate call with Caribbean Americans. We all live in the same country. We all supposed to be Black, right? So why isn't a call with Black people of all persuasions on this call for Harris? Just see what it is, y'all. Let me tell you what it is. They want to get their set-asides and want to take yours too. And when you delineate, and you say, no, you're not going to treat me like that. You're not going to do me like that. Now you're cutting them off from our set-asides. You understand? Even in their own homeland, a lot of them, they couldn't get the set-asides that you're getting now. You understand? So when y'all checking paperwork and y'all looking at Kamala's paperwork and y'all looking at what she's identified as, and y'all saying, hey, you know, and it's a lot of Black people in unison about saying, hey, she is not a Black American woman. Now, is her being on the Caribbean call, or she want to be the Caribbean call? Hey, she actually has a right to be on that call because she's a Caribbean woman, Caribbean and East Indian. But notice when she go, and we've shown this, when she go talk to East Indian people, she don't go out there with nobody twerking. She takes them serious. We got a video tonight we're going to show that she even speaks the language, which is fine. I mean, it's fine she speaks the language. I don't have an issue with that. But I'm saying as Black Americans, we don't speak, no Hindu languages. We don't speak that. We're not going to allow people to come in no more, take from our community, and then separate themselves and get other set-asides that we can't get. No, and it's not just them, it's all of them. I don't want to hear no talk about no Pan-Africanism when y'all not practicing Pan-Africanism, man. And I used to be a big person that believed in, hey, we all just need to blindly, work together. But that was an error in my ways, because you can't just blindly work with anybody that just got the same skin color as you. What I do believe is that I will work with Black people globally. I will, but they got to have the same mindset as me. If they don't have the same mindset as me, I ain't working with them. I'm not going to fool with Black Americans either that don't have the same mindset as me. So don't get it twisted just because you're a Black American, I'll work with you. Because to be honest with you, two-thirds of you, and we see that, a third of you, I'll work with you. A third. Probably a third of Black people throughout the world I work with. The other 2/3, no. No. Because I see some things because when I get that when I start sniffing that you want to be comfortable in captivity scent on you, I'm cool, bro. You go do you. Go over there with Kamala and them and the Boule and go do you, bro. Or sis, go do you. I'm happy for you. I'm going to stay over here. I'd rather stay over here alone or have one person or maybe 3-4 people that's in my corner and was on the right thing than having 10,000 of you that just want to be comfortable in captivity. Ed, that's not true. There's a lot of Black people in this country who has the same mindset, who has the same mission, that believes in a lot of things I believe. Trust me. Oh, yes, there is. I am not the only one. That is a lie. That's a lie. That's not true. You have to find your tribe. And when you find them, you hook up with them, you work with them. But I always said this. You don't need the majority to make a change. Let's go back to the civil rights movement. Do you think the majority of Black folks at that time, the civil rights movement, fought against anything? No, they didn't. A lot of them wanted to be comfortable in captivity too. A lot of those Black folks in that time period was upset that Black folks was out there tearing Watts up, tearing up Detroit, tearing up LA, tearing up all these different cities when it was time to get down. They didn't like that, but they was doing it for a reason. If you think about every person that's made a difference in this world, no matter who they were, it never was a big crowd that was with them. All you got to do is have a few people and you can change your community, or you can even change the world. Just even with a few people. You don't need thousands of people. You don't need millions of people to make a change. You don't need that. You as one person can make a difference. It may sound cliche, but it's true. One person can make a difference. You know how I look at things? I may say something and plant a seed in somebody. I don't know who it is. And that seed is planted. That seed gonna water that seed. That seed gonna germinate. And that seed gonna grow into something. And I may not ever meet that person ever again. It may be somebody my age. It could be somebody young. It could be, a kid that just really intrigued with politics. They could be listening. And that kid can grow up to be one of the greatest men or women ever. And maybe a seed was planted in something that I said, and that's fine. I don't have to be the greatest anything. If somebody just can hear what I say and apply it and think. And one thing I'm loving about Black America, and I have a lot of hope for Black America, is that more Black Americans are thinking like me than thinking like that about Kamala and all of that. Trust me. They are sick and tired of the shame. They're sick and tired of the aggression. They're sick and tired of the okie doke. They're sick and tired of all the mess that go along with that. They're tired. They're tired. They want something different. They want policies. They don't want nothing to do with nobody's party. Black women have woke up. Yes, Black women have woke up. Oh, yes. Black men started it first, and I still want to give a shout out to our Black men. Black men was the first one to move with their feet away from the Democrat Party. They know they got a Black men problem. And I said, before that happened, I said, if Black men walk, then it won't be long for Black women start following. See, I want to tell Black men something. You don't have to ask, some people say, well, she won't let me lead. You don't ask no woman to lead nothing. You lead. Women will follow once you be a leader. A woman don't respect no man. They got to ask her, can I lead? She don't respect you. But when you just say, you know what, this is what we gonna do. And you do it. And she, she look back and say, you know what? I respect that. I respect, I think I'm going to follow those men, what they're doing. Because they're actually doing something. They didn't ask me for nothing. They're actually doing it. And now you're starting to hear more Black women speak just like Black men now. How many times have you heard that? More and more women are speaking just like Black men about that other party. More Black women will say, I'm done with that. I'm a policy voter. I'm an independent. Anybody can get my vote at this point. I've seen so many Black women say that now. Black women are disgusted of what they're seeing. You know how many Black women was disgusted about Megan Thee Stallion? And a lot of them say, I like Megan Thee Stallion. And I go to her concert, but I don't want to see that when it's time to start talking about something serious like politics. Natasha is right. Men are supposed to lead. But unfortunately, it's a big unfortunate. A lot of our men was raised with single mothers, so how could they really lead? But you still got some men out here who were raised with good men and who were raised to lead. So you still have that. Oh, Denise says, yay to Black men. I left. Shout out to Denise. Shout out to Denise. She left. I love to see, that's why I always title videos, the backbone of the party is leaving. Yeah, the backbone is cracking on that Democrat side. Leave Black men and women alone. Go, like, why isn't she doing, why don't she go to the East Indian community? They registered to vote. Go talk to them. What about the Asian community? They signed a hate crime bill. Go talk to them. I mean, you should have every right to go say, hey, we need all y'all to come out and vote. We did a hate crime bill for y'all. Matter of fact, go talk to the migrants. Go talk to them. Since you invested so much time and money into them, go talk to them. We know they can't vote, but hey, I mean, get them to canvass for you or something. I don't know. Well, Kamala, Anthony, believe that we're that way because she has a view of us like the folks do. That's why because she has no connection. She has no connection to us. That's why she think that way about us. She has no connection. Like Hillary Clinton. I mean, she's no different than Hillary Clinton. I'm telling you, she's no different Hillary Clinton has no connection to us. She don't either. She has no connection. The time that she had to say, I'm a Black woman and ride down about Black, she didn't say nothing at all. She didn't say nothing. Because she don't want to sit up here and declare I'm a Black woman and stand on being a Black woman. But all y'all up here running and defending her and saying, she's a Black woman. She went to an HBCU. My dog can go to HBCU. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on. I didn't know that was a qualification. Yeah, you say hot sauce in your bag. Yeah, that'll be next. She got hot sauce. She gonna go on the Breakfast Club, laughing it up. I don't know if she even gonna go on the Breakfast Club because she seemed like she's avoiding interviews. And hold on, y'all. I forgot about Policy Watch. So let's go to Policy Watch. Day whatever we on, right? So let me go ahead and refresh this. All right. So Policy Watch. All right. So yesterday, we know they added the Meet Kamala Harris part of the website. And we know that was just more so a meat deal. So nothing has been updated with her policies or what she's going to run on at all. Just a story, donate by mail, fax, all of that. But if you didn't, we went through this yesterday, but you know, it's just meeting her and then it tells her story about her East Indian mama and all this reproductive freedom, you know, unaliving children. She big about that. And you want to read through all that, you can. You know, this is the woman that y'all, Ben Crump say to protect. He's going to need to protect her, not us. And she got U.S. Secret Service. Okay, all of that. So you can read through that if you want to, which is fine. But, yeah, donate some money. You know, meet Kamala. And that's it. We still have no policies on Policy Watch, ladies and gentlemen. No policies. Why don't we have any policies? Why? You say they had a white dudes for Harris rally. They only doing that because that's the thing about that. Let me talk about that. That's not genuine. Let me tell you why. Anytime black people do something, they copy it. So first they had a black women for Harris. They raised money. Then they had a black men. They raised money. Well, you know, these people, they can't let you do anything by yourself. So then later they had a white women for Harris. Now they had a white dudes for Harris. I don't look at that as a positive thing. Why can't just black people do what they do? Even if I disagree with what they did, I still look at it like that. You can't let black people do what they do. Let black people be, but they can't do that. They always want to try to upstage you in something, even something like this. So they can say, well, we had more people than you. We raised more money than you. I see right through it. I don't see this as a positive thing. Well, let me go ahead on and get you out of here because you know if I'm a tap dancing fool and what you doing listening to that, I wouldn't listen to any tap dancing fool. And tomorrow is Sound Off Friday, so all you Kamala Harris supporters, you're welcome to call in tomorrow. Call in tomorrow. Just make sure you are respectful. You don't use foul language, and you're not yell and scream. If you act like a banshee, I'm going to get you out. That's just really how I'm going to do it. I'm tap dancing because what? How am I tap dancing? I'm trying to figure that part out. You the one tap dancing because you sitting up here with a woman who wouldn't even do nothing for you. Who won't even when Donald Trump sit up here and said that you're not black, you had a chance at the Boule meeting to stand on being black and you didn't even do it. If I'm going to defend somebody that's black, at least say you're black. That's why I said before, we need to revisit this one-drop rule thing. Because South Africa got it right. I'm really understanding it now. Oh, they got it right. We can't just let people come in here cosplay blackness. We got to revisit this one-drop rule thing. We need to really start discussing that again because we didn't create the one-drop rule. The folks did. They did that to protect themselves away from us. But we need to look at that now because they have been using people to cause confusion in our black American community. And people can't help who their parents are. That's not what I'm saying. But if you the type that you jumping in and out of blackness and whoever you in front of, that's who you are at that time period, that you can't be in no kind of leadership around us. No. And that way you can continue doing what you do. But we need to really start re-looking into that one-drop rule thing. Because that's how you get an Obama. Yeah. I know. Let me replay it.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Yeah, I mean, why would you say that if you're a black person? I can understand if you're not a black person saying that, but how is it you're a black person, supposedly, and you would say something like that to another black person because she was being interviewed by a black woman? But she has no connection to us. That's why she could say something like that, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, thank y'all for drawing this on the the live stream today. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. It's very, very important. Make sure you download the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. We greatly appreciate everyone who's downloaded it. We greatly appreciate everyone who's, once you download it, you can hit create account and you can choose a monthly, quarterly, or yearly. That will help us support the show. These platforms go up and down. It also helps us with payroll. It also helps us with expansion. We need to do a major update to the app. We're working on different show creations. We're working on as well. So anything that you're doing there is a great help for us here, ladies and gentlemen. So tomorrow is Sound Off Friday. You can call in and we can have a conversation as long as you're respectful. As long as you're respectful. So any Kamala Harris supporters, you're definitely welcome to come on in. I prefer the Kamala Harris supporters to call in than anybody else. But thank y'all for listening.